lesson 58, part 12, we're going to look at another facet of how the shoulders operate. The logo for my Explanar Golf company is the Vitruvian Man by Da Vinci, a late 1400s drawing of the human body within a circle. But we've talked before about my body being an axle and my arms being spokes, and there it is, pure rotation. When I was a lad, I had a motorbike, and one of my best tools was a Phillips screwdriver that was welded a handle on at 90 degrees. So if you imagine that my body was like the screwdriver with the slot, and this was the bar that gave me leverage. So you can see the better line of leverage is when I'm in a wheel. I think you think it's strange if my spokes function outside that plane. So the primary movement of the golfer is to rotate the shoulders through 90 degrees in the backswing. Because the shoulders coil, then the torso, hips, legs and feet also work as they should. If I put my feet golfing distance apart, if I swayed, again you think that was strange, no rotation there, but worse than that is a tilt. Okay, where's your rock? So the beauty of the rotational motor skill is that as you coil backwards and forwards, everything from the shoulders down is for free. Your torso, hips, legs, knees and feet and weight shift are all good. Now, in golf, the first problem is someone's glued our spokes together. So the shoulders go this far, but now I can only go as far as my forearms allow. So if I introduce the golf club at that point, the shoulders themselves give me 90 rotation in the backswing and 180 through. It's made more complicated because from the side on, if the spoke was straight, it would be easier to understand. But unfortunately, this spoke is bent. So as I coil, the butt of the club rises into plane. Now, if I show you Explanar, and instead of using my 6-iron, I just utilize the long power roller, I can show you the shoulders rotating. Now, if I rotate properly, I finish up on a flexed right knee. Now, some of us have been told that the legs should straighten, the hips should rise, and that the weight should go this way, which is like stack and tilt, or a tilting mechanism. Now, the moment I swing back, the club head is an upward journey. If I put my finger there to demonstrate that, the direction of my finger is going around and up. What throws people, particularly stack and tilt adherents, is the shoulder goes in a downward direction. So although this is operating in an upward circular motion, this appears to be going down. Well, it may be traveling downwards in direction, but it is not dropping. It is not doing that. Okay? It really is not doing that. You see, the reason it gives the appearance that it is because my lever is bent. If this were all in one line, my finger, arm and shoulder would go upwards. But because this line is bent, as the club goes in this direction upwards, the shoulder appears to drop. So again, it's the fruit of an inclined rotation with a bend in it. And people think that the shoulder drops. No, it doesn't. It just rotates in a downward direction. Sounds the same, looks the same, but is entirely different when it comes to reality. So, if you rotate properly, the shoulder appears to drop. It doesn't, it's just going in a downward direction. Okay? What you don't want to be is right leg straight, hip high, tilting forward, and the shoulder going in this direction. Because then you've got the most massive body clearance to compensate and justify. So, why am I so dogmatic about that? Well, I'm dogmatic because if I say something is true, it must relate to function. If I show you the rotation of the shoulders in horizontal plane, you can see I'm in plane. If I was a stack and tilt merchant, I'd be going back with my right leg straight and my hip going, I'd be going this way, and then I'd have to be clearing the body to do all sorts of fancy things on the way through. So, hope what you've understood is that when the shoulder goes to the throat, the club is going in an upward direction, as are the arms. Don't be deceived by the fact that due to the bend here, the shoulder appears to drop. It is not dropping. You're not losing height. You have merely got a rotation in a downward direction. But once you get past the midpoint, the shoulder appears to be going the same direction as the club. So it's one of those little subtleties. And again, even if it's true, it's not something you take to the course. If you've done your work on the grip and the posture, and you've created power properly, the behaviour of the shoulder rotation, and that means the torso, hips, knees and feet as well, are all taken care of. To that end, to help shoulder coil and leg action, my most favourite teaching drill is hitting shots with the knees together. So we take our normal stance, we bring the knees together. Now the knees must stay together. They could move, but they mustn't separate. And when I hit shots with the knees together, my rotation has to be good. Okay? Now, if I erroneously went into a stack and tilt motion, my knees would separate, my hip would rise, and this would stay narrow. The fact that the knees stay together obliged the shoulder to get to the throat. You wouldn't want to see me now this way, way over here, this way. That would look very strange, wouldn't it? Okay, it's not what happens when a swing's in its optimum plane. So here we go. I rotate, knees together. There's no way that my spine is going this way. There's no way that I'm on this side. There's no way that my right hip rises. If I'm going to function in plane, I'm going to look like that on an inclined plane. So shots of the knees together, they create good rotation, and also, surprisingly, it improves leg action. So coil and release. Okay, you know that I mishit that. Can't fool you, you heard it. So I better do another one properly for you. Here we go. Coil and release. Always helps if you have a backswing first.